What up, everybody? Well, I guess it's time for me to chime in with my motherfucking 3 cents, right? With this Terrance Crawford and Earl Spence thing. I don't think either side is ducking, man. I watched the interview. I'm not trying to fucking put on my Hubble telescope and try to read too deep into what Terrance Crawford is saying. Just keeping it for what it is. You got two options: to believe him or don't believe him. You know what I'm saying? And your third option is just to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, if he says that he had two people out there, two companies, two hedge funds, or whatever the case may be, out there with $25 million a piece for those guys to fight, then I guess I can give him the benefit of the doubt, because I don't know. How do you verify that? You know, a lot of people out here believe Deontay Wilder when he said $50 million. So, and it wasn't like he said $25 million a piece for each fighters without trying to get that popping. I know a lot of people out there want him to name who he was talking about, but that's not up for us to know. Some people don't want their business to be known. Y'all know that. Some people don't want their business to be known out here on Front Street, and I don't blame them. You know, it ain't his business to tell. He said Al Heyman know him. You know, you heard the response Al Heyman guy gave him after that. You know, so it is what it is. You know, for all the logic out there with on Terrance Crawford, a lot of people can. With the same logic that you guys have for Terrance Crawford is the same logic you can have for Al Heyman. This fight was never going to happen this year. We had high hopes for this fight to happen this year. Terrance Crawford had been out of the ring for almost a year. You know what I'm saying? On the 20th, I think it'll be a year. You know, and they trying to make the fight. When is the fight supposed to? When was this fight supposed to happen? Nobody knows. A lot of people were experts in saying November 19th. Never happened. Right? Floyd said the fight is not happening this year, and Al Heyman kind of moved like the fight wasn't happening this year, as we can see, since everything is in the rearview mirror now. You know what I'm saying? We all knew. Anybody from what I can see, right? That it's strictly just the business. It's the business. It's the money. Something on the PBC side that they either they don't care to tell the fans, or they don't want the fans to know something. Reason why this fight didn't happen this year. The reason why the fight ain't happened yet. No dates, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know people out there saying, well, Terrance Crawford said he signed the contract. I don't know what the fuck that motherfucker said. It could have been a proposal. It could have been whatever, but it wasn't a contract. Because if it was the contract, then they have him. Dead to rights. He can't go nowhere. Right? So, you know, I take everything that these dudes say with a grain of salt, man. I don't take it as the gospel. None of that stuff. Hell, majority of motherfuckers in real life can't even get their story straight. One minute they say they won't do this, and the next minute they doing it. So don't give me that. You know? A lot of folks can miss me with this. A lot of the shit that they say. I don't believe it. You know, it is what it is. I watched that damn IG Live. I listened to another couple of folks, man. Y'all too eager to make videos, man. Too eager. Your mind is already made up before the video even happened. Body language experts. Motherfuckers never did a boxing contract in daily life. Experts. Experts on. Let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to tell y'all again. These boxers out here are the ones that's solely responsible for their career. If a boxer wants to see the books it's up to them to request that. If they don't want to show them, then it is what it is. But you as a boxer, whether or not it's your manager in there looking at it, with your promoter, with your lawyer in there looking at it, whatever the case may be, the boxer is the one that's his career is his sole responsibility. Everything in his career, Mike Tyson could blame everybody in the world, but he was solely responsible to know what he was signing. Right? All these boxers you hear about, Don King talk about making people pay for towels. That boxer was solely responsible for knowing that Jab Judah, all of them. The list goes on and on of people doing business with these guys and signing contracts. They didn't. Oh, I didn't know the fight was gonna be that big and this and the third. Blah blah blah. Your sole responsible. It was you, not a lawyer, not nobody else. You. And it doesn't matter what field you in. You signed a contract. You. You know what I'm saying? No judge ain't gonna want to hear that shit. You know? Two things for certain in life is death and taxes. Even the tax man gonna tell your ass, you can hire whoever you want to hire, but it's you are responsible. You is responsible for paying what's owed in his life, and it's death and taxes. So don't want to miss me with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even a deal breaker. How is wanting to see the book supposed to be a deal breaker? Everybody know, well, it could be assumed that this is Terrance Crawford's first time in the driver's seat doing all this stuff like that. So it ain't supposed to be smooth. It shouldn't be smooth. If it was smooth, I guess it would be, he's just that good. Should be a lot of questions asked. Nobody, y'all ain't saying, well, Al Heyman should have schooled him, should have educated him, should have put him under his wing so he won't sit up over here and fuck himself with these dudes out here. Huh? Nobody said that. I know it ain't Al Heyman's job, but I'm just saying. You know? You know, I just don't understand. I just don't understand how people can see that how a dude can wait around for 6 months sitting on his hands with no fight. Been out of the ring for how long? Month go by, and y'all expect him not to do nothing. You same dudes out there talking about Terrance Crawford dunking is the same dudes that would have done the same thing that Terrance Crawford's doing right now and taking that 10 mil. If Al Heyman would say, why would you sell yourself short for $25 million with back end? Why wouldn't Terrance? Why would Al Heyman say, don't take that $10 million? Huh? Why wasn't nobody saying, where are you going, Crawford? We got the contract, we fight next. Nobody know when that fight was going to happen. And I don't think that fight was going to happen in you got to think about it, though. These fighters been out for a minute. Terrance Crawford, I believe, the longest. These fighters was not going to fight first quarter next year. They was going to have a fight in between. So what do you want them to do? So what do you want Terrance Crawford to do? Wait around the whole time and not fight nobody? And then we hear all these other names that's getting thrown out here and stuff like that? I ain't trying to hear all that shit. If Terrance Crawford said them names wasn't brought up, the names wasn't brought up, and it is what it is. You could put your Hubble telescope on and try to look too deep into the shit and nuke the hell out of it, but it is what it is. You don't know. You can assume. You can speculate. That's all we can do. Assume and speculate and try to use some of the data that we have to come up with our own opinion. That's all we could do. But this sitting up over here bashing people because they have a difference of opinion is dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. And then I guess it wasn't true. Because the only person Crawford could have been talking about is Daniel working with Daniel Kinningham. Come to find out, the motherfucker ain't working with the dude. This whole time, even if that was the case, it's always somebody throwing something out there on Terrance Crawford for him not to be doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus he ain't responded. His pen is Daniel Kinningham. He want to see the books. And come to find out, none of that stuff was a hindrance. Come to find out, that wasn't even the reason why the fight wasn't getting put on. Come to find out, that wasn't even the deal breaker. Hello, it wasn't. Wasn't even a deal breaker. We don't even know what the fucking deal breaker is. We don't know what it is. But I do know that people on both, people on both sides, like, oh boy, coming out here saying, insinuating that Earl and Al Heyman are homosexuals, and then somebody on the PBC side throwing a little shade and stuff like that, and a little couple jabs. That shit needs to stop. That shit needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? And people shouldn't be out here testing the waters of other men's, insinuating people's manhood on Front Street on social media. Don't even need to be done. If the fight didn't happen, the fight didn't happen. Move on. Move on to your $10 million. Whether or not who's the A side or who's the B side, who gives a fuck? As me as a fight fan, I don't give a fuck. Fight didn't happen. If Crawford go out there and make $10 million and Earl ain't made $10 million yet, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because that's the same analogy why folks been using to say Anthony Joshua is the A side because somebody is willing to give them a flat fee up front. Well, I don't know if it's a flat fee, but up front instead of what the fight actually generates. But somebody's willing to give it to him, allegedly. Somebody's willing to give him $25 million right along with Earl Spence with a possibility of back end, allegedly. So miss me with that. Plus, it ain't our goddamn money. The fight didn't happen. Pointing the finger at Crawford or Earl ain't gonna do a damn thing. We come to find out Earl is willing to do anything that Al Heyman tell him to do. Whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing for his part, I don't know. I'm not up over there. I'm not signing his checks. I'm not cashing his checks. I don't know what that dude getting. I don't know what the benefits is. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I gotta keep it. But for him to say that $25 million was selling short, and then Terrance can get his $10 million, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you when nobody know the date. Y'all contract whisperers, tell me when the date for the fight was supposed to be. Tell me what bout agreement was signed. Tell me what contract was signed. Stop looking in too deep what these dudes are saying and just and just keep it for what it is. Fight didn't happen. If Al Heyman's the man, right? He's the man, right? He's the dude that makes things happen, make things shake, right? How come the fight ain't happened yet? How come How come we didn't get a fight date this year? Don't blame it on Terrance Crawford. Don't do that. Because you don't know what happened. Nothing but space and opportunity between these two guys, between these two camps, and nothing shaped. Nothing. And absolutely nothing did. So y'all can miss me with that. Nothing shaped. This has been going on for years. We blamed it on everybody else. And don't give me that, oh, you know, Crawford said on many occasions about the fight and he don't want it and this and that and the third. I don't give a fuck about all that. Nobody gonna sit around for 6 months waiting for something to shake in a bout agreement and crunching numbers, looking at numbers with Al Heyman and stuff like that because they don't want the fight. Y'all need to cut that shit out, man. Y'all need to cut it out. Y'all not taking. You're supposed to take people's words for what it is, right? But at the same time as you also need to understand these dudes are fucking human beings. They're not robots. You know what I'm saying? Ain't everybody like you. Don't everybody think like you, right? So take your little sunglasses off and take it for what it is. Really see the big picture. The big picture is the fight was never going to happen this year, right? And it had nothing to do with Earl and Crawford. It had everything to do with the business of boxing. The fight might not happen first quarter of next year because of the business of boxing. This fight has always been surrounded by when the business of boxing is ready, the fight will be made. And Crawford and Earl can want it as much as possibly as they want to, right? But it won't happen until then. And also you can miss me with the, oh, you know, Al Heyman got them clauses to where they can't say nothing. Look, Earl can sit out there and say, I want the fight, and Al Heyman needs to do whatever he needs to do to make it. He can say it if he fucking want to, with no repercussions. But he won't. It's the only fight I want. This and the third. You won't. I wouldn't say that if I was Earl. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, I don't care what's going on, man, but we just need to make the fight happen. I don't care what it is. We just need to make the fight happen. He can't say that, but he won't. Earl also can come out and start refuting what Crawford had to say. But I highly doubt he won't. I don't think he give a fuck. Hell, for all I know, everybody's in cahoots. They know when the fight's going to get made. They know when the fight is going to get made, but we don't. Convenient. Crawford says he's fighting this dude, and all of a sudden, there's already a lineup for Earl. There's already a lineup for Crawford. They knew. They knew. They knew they was about to have a fight in between. Both teams knew they wasn't gonna wait that long outside of the ring before they got up in there. And it wouldn't have been fair to Terrance Crawford. Right? So, you know, that's my 3 cents. And shout outs to the whole boxing world and everybody stay sucker free.